Do you know that a lot of the time what we refer to as excellence is actually just OCD on steroids? OCD that went to Harvard. Good evening, and this is Monday Musings. So there are a lot of gray areas here. What actually is perfection? Does it actually refer to a state of everything being in the right place, in a perfect place, in the absolute sense and complete sense? Or does it actually refer to everything being in a useful place? Is the concept of 100% absoluteness, 100% completion, 100% perfection more important and more desirable than 100% usefulness? I'm inclined to think not. For instance, when tidying up your house, your desire for an absolute completion and absolute perfection might leave you with a never-ending urge to be constantly straightening out your shoes in your closet at every point in time. You might want to have every item that is in some kind of arrangement immaculately arranged and spick and span and well straightened out whenever they turn crooked. And in the long run, you are going to find out two things. Unless you get someone else to be doing that, there is never going to be an end to you straightening out. There's never going to be an end to you straightening out stuff in your closet and adjusting one thing or the other. And time lost to one thing would only be eaten up by another. And number two, you are not actually manifesting excellence. What you are actually displaying is OCD, but in a very tush and well packaged way. Number three, which is a bonus point. The second point I mentioned is less obvious and less apparent, and probably might get less agreement from the audience, and so as a result of this, you or other people around you would suffer for it, depending on how much power you have and depending on how many people you have influence over, because they are going to constantly be under some form of pressure to meet up to your unmeetable standard that you yourself can't even meet up to with peace of mind. To truly do things right, one will need to possess the ability to know and to rest in the assurance of the fact that in this life there will always be a little bit of chaos inside order, and vice versa. Just like the yin-yang circle, there will always be a bit of chaos in order and order where you find chaos. And where your true strength will really come out and show forth is when you finally have the ability to beat down those urges that constantly push you to straighten out every crooked line you see in your life. When you can actually sit, wait and watch and observe that those crooked lines, they might not necessarily be so destructive so long as they are in a useful place, and we could all coexist that way. So think about this. What if every human in life could actually operate at 100% level of efficiency? Well, I can imagine now that people who haven't really thought this through would long for that. A hypothetical utopia where everything works with 100% efficiency and everywhere is so neat and every human being is 100% efficient. An existence where everybody is absolute in knowledge and absolute in value and absolute in virtue. Well, what could possibly be the disadvantage of that, right? But do you know that if everyone is equal and absolute in every way, it rids you as an individual of that thing that makes you desirable? Because our differences, and the reason why we have differences is because we are not absolute, or we are not at 100% efficiency. Some people excel in some areas more than others do, and that is why we end up needing each other. If you eradicate the possibility of one person being better at something than another person, then it rids us of the use or necessity of needing other people. And then at that point, people have nothing to offer to others because everybody has everything and can do everything absolutely. And this is one reason why the woke propaganda pushed by toxic liberals in the West irritates me badly. This warped attempt to remove everything that makes human beings unequal. I believe in equality of opportunity, but not necessarily equality of outcome. An example is the extremist feminists, if that's the right way to put it. Extremist feminists. The extreme feminism, Black Lives Matter movement, extreme ends of all of that. Most of those people who are toxic in the way they go about it, their utmost desire is actually to rid and strip people of everything that makes them unequal in any way. All this is done in a quest for perfection, but forgetting that this is slowly taking away from the emphasis on the unique individuality of every person and the usefulness of that uniqueness also, and placing emphasis on the superiority of the group being women, or the group being blacks or LGBT people or whatever it is. I believe much more in the superiority of an individual as a unique person and the usefulness of that to the superiority of a group, whether it's gender or race or sexual orientation, LGBTQIA, UVWXYZ. So in summary, what am I saying? Perfection is not the goal, and in most cases it might sound counterintuitive, but perfection can hinder you from making progress. What you actually want to build is consistency. Consistency builds momentum, and at the end of the day, momentum is always a winner. This is Monday Musings. Next week, we're going to be thinking on the concept of perception and bias. How much of the values you hold are actually due to your own intention, or how many of them were passed down to you because you actually didn't even know. I mean, how many of them are you actually responsible for, and how many of them did you actually consciously choose? We're going to be looking at this critically next week. For anyone not clear, OCD means obsessive compulsive disorder. It sounds worse than it actually is, because of the word disorder. Who wants to be named with like that title? But it actually manifests in different ways. It could be like a perpetually obsessive, strong, compulsive desire to see everything being arranged, neat, tidy, and so on. It can also manifest as great attention to detail, an urge to always see everywhere neat and always wash your hands, fear of germs, and gets to an excessive degree. Don't think about it as black and white though. Like I said at the start of this video, there are a lot of gray areas here. It's a whole spectrum. I think I had some tendencies of this like when I was growing up. For instance, when I was growing, I would never like cut tissue paper if it's not on the dotted line. Like I hated it so much. So it just icks me in a way, like when I see people tearing tissue paper and just cut it anyway randomly. Or if I'm picking eggs from a crate, I want to pick them in a row and just complete it like that. Or using toothpaste from the middle, I was like, why are you just scattering everything like that? Just use it like somebody that went to school, you understand? I always had this compulsive urge to even out both sides of my body. It was I guess maybe I won't say it was small. Like if I'm walking on the road now and I hit my right hand on something and I'm feeling pain here, I would find a way to hit this one back to equalize it. And if I now hit this one and the pain here is now like 80% and this one is 70, I'll hit this one small so that it get to 80 and just be like that until both of them are even. Or if I touch something cold, I want to touch this part of my body back. I don't know if that qualifies as some level of OCD, but I don't do that again. And like when I got colored pencils as a kid, I always want to keep them arranged according to the order in which they came from the manufacturer. Black, brown, like whatever the order was, I always keep it like that till they keep finishing. I'll keep it in that order like that. Mine was mild, and I've grown out of like most of the intensity of that. But there are some people that you meet, just know how to manage life with them, or else divorce lawyer go chop on our money. Bye bye.